What would you do if your ex started flaunting their new relationship right after a breakup? My guess is you'd probably want to do something drastic like move to Antarctica or become a nun. Okay, maybe those are a bit extreme. But when Sophie's ex, Max, started showing off his new girlfriend, Gwyneth, at every social event, she needed a plan. Luckily, she had someone in her corner, her best friend, Chloe. The two were at a small cafe catching up over hot chocolates when Chloe suggested, "You need to counterattack. Just bring someone, pretend you're taken. Make him see what he lost." Sophie snorted, "I don't have anyone." "Then borrow someone?" Chloe said with a mischievous grin. "My cousin Liam will be in town visiting. He's single, charming, and ridiculously good-looking. He'll be the perfect rebound guy for you." Rebound guy? Sophie thought, rolling her eyes. She wasn't interested in any guy, much less a rebound. But the idea did have its merits. She could make Max jealous. And so it was decided. Sophie would borrow Liam for a while. But their first public appearance together was at a family gathering, and she was starting to regret her decision. The entire family was there, including her parents, who both gave her knowing looks. Her aunt, who wouldn't stop asking about kids and grandkids. And of course Max and his new girlfriend, Gwyneth. The worst part was that Liam, bless his heart, was trying his best to play the role of the perfect boyfriend. He held her chair, laughed at all her jokes, even though some were a bit stale. And he looked at her like she was the only person in the room. It was sweet, it was endearing, and it was making Sophie's skin crawl. This was all just an act. But as the weeks went by, it became harder and harder to keep up the pretense. Their next public appearance was at a friend's birthday party. Then they went to a wine tasting event. Afterwards, they had a picnic in the park. Every time they were together, they would exchange playful texts to stay in character. They even started developing inside jokes. And everywhere they went, people would comment on how adorable they were as a couple. Sophie started to feel like she was actually dating Liam. Of course, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. There were times when Sophie would catch herself smiling at Liam, when she was expecting to roll her eyes at him. There were moments when she would miss him when they were apart. And there were times when she questioned why she was doing this in the first place. The answer, of course, was Max. She wanted to make him jealous. Well, that and the fact that Liam was turning out to be quite the charmer. But the problem was that the deeper she got into the charade, the more she started to feel for Liam. And it seemed he had feelings for her too. One rainy evening, they left an event early. Instead of going home, they stopped at a quiet diner. They talked for hours, not about their fake relationship, but about themselves. They talked about their fears, their dreams, and everything in between. By the end of the night, Sophie realized that she didn't want the pretending to end. When Chloe had suggested that Sophie borrow Liam for a while, she had expected her friend to come back single and maybe a little heartbroken. What she didn't expect was for them to come back together as a couple. But seeing the way Liam and Sophie looked at each other, she knew that whatever they had was real. The agreement was supposed to end after her ex's wedding. But the night before, Liam told her, "I don't want this to end, Sophie. Not the act, not us." Those words, spoken so honestly, so openly, took all the breath out of her lungs. She wanted to tell him that she felt the same, that she had fallen in love with him, truly and deeply, but she couldn't. Not yet. The next day, they attended the wedding together, hand in hand. All throughout the ceremony, Sophie kept stealing glances at Liam. He looked so handsome in a suit. He looked at her lovingly. She knew that now everyone would believe that they were a couple, but most importantly, she knew that she loved him. And in that moment, she realized that sometimes the best love stories start with a little white lie.